A moment of tragedy will bring us to clarity. And some of you who are older know exactly what I'm talking about. You're all busy with all the variety of things that you think are so important in life, but when that moment of tragedy comes, you get a moment of clarity. And you realize now, again, what's important and where the finish line is and what is the real goal. And it wasn't all the trappings of the things that this world is always seducing us into thinking is so important. But my prayer has always been, why wait for the moment of tragedy for clarity? When we have prayer and faith in God to get us looking in the right direction again. What is your life goal? What is your life passion? I just wanted Jeff really to focus and just to spend time in that prayer song. This is the air I breathe. Your holy presence living in me. Think about that. Think about what is eternal. Think about what goes on forever. Think about what's really, really important. I should have a verse up here next. In 1 Corinthians 9 and verse 24. The runner running, Paul's using this illustration. Do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? And he says, here's how you run. Run as if you're going to receive the prize. Forget what's behind. We need to be forward-looking people. We need to be moving forward. Those of you who know the life of the Apostle Paul, what did Paul want to forget? Don't you know these lines when the Apostle Paul is saying, forget what's behind, are very strong words. Paul had a lot he wanted to forget. Don't you know that? How about his worldliness? And all the time he spent in life trying to attain that position in life, to be a Pharisee on the Sanhedrin, to have that worldly education, to have money, to have the popularity of the people. He said, I wasted all that time doing that. Being such a stickler with legalism and condemning people to hell. Don't you know Paul had a lot to forget? As he held the coats and gave approval of a man of God being stoned to death right in front of his eyes. Don't you know Paul had a lot to forget as he went through the work to get legal papers to pursue innocent people to their prison and to death. Misplaced priorities, past successes. Paul could have easily done like so many of us do from time to time, found ourselves trapped in the past and unable to move forward. So many times people get trapped in the past. Our mistakes done to us, victims, perpetrators, grief, grudges, and we're stuck in the past and we can't move forward. A life of past success, a life of fantasy and romance and romanticizing how it was so much better in the old days. Some of the young people, you know, you hear the older people saying that, and here I am, one of those old dudes now, and I'm hearing it, you know. Oh, how good it was in the old days. Back when we didn't have remote controls, man, we had to get up off the couch and go turn the channel, man, back in the good old days when we had values and, you know, we had it good back then, and they're stuck in the past. Churches do that. Oh, the good old days, we had that VBS program, or we had that church bus program, and we had those meetings, and we had this, and yeah, and they can't move forward. Paul says, put it all in the past. Move forward. The Church of Jesus Christ should be forward-moving, forward-thinking people. We've all made mistakes. It's in the past. Get past it. Don't get stuck in griefs and grudges. Don't get stuck in past successes. They'll paralyze you in the present. But God will empower you to learn from the past. Don't get me wrong on that. Learn from the past. Move on. The only good the past is for moving forward. Paralyze you in the present. You're stuck in the past. Guys ever watch Napoleon Dynamite? Huh? There are a lot of good life lessons you can learn there. You remember the brother? Stuck in the 80s, man. He's got his old van out there, you know, throwing the football. Uncle. Stuck in the past. Man, don't do that. Can't believe how easy it is to get stuck in the past. Paul says, forget about it. You got to move on. Don't only forget your past stuff, but forget the past of other people too. Person who's hurt you. Person who's done you wrong. Person who has failed you. My goodness gracious, we all seem to put people and our expectations of them higher than we could ever even hope to meet. Lower that expectation. And those things that people have done in the past, it's in the past. Get past it. God will empower you to move on. Here's something I've learned about how God works. Over and over again, I see Jesus giving an instruction to someone who can't do it. Have you ever noticed that? I mean, he tells a paralyzed man, stand up. Do you know how cruel that would be to tell a paralyzed guy, stand up? Think about it. We don't know he's been healed yet. He says, stand up. You're looking at him. The guy can't walk. He says to a guy with a withered hand, it's all scrunched up, stretch your hand forward. What do you mean stretch my hand forward? It's all withered up. You see, there's an important life point for all of us right here, is that there is a responsibility on us. If we're to receive the power of God, we've got to act in faith. The paralyzed guy made the effort to stand up. The guy with the withered hand made the effort to stretch forth. And it's at that point that God's power is applied to your situation. Don't sit there and think that, God, you apply power to my situation while you're sitting on your butt. And while you're not doing His will. It ain't going to happen. I've never seen it happen in the Bible, ever. You've got to begin to walk in faith. You don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to try. I don't know how I'm going to stand up, but I'm going to try. And at that point, the power of God comes to bear on you. How am I going to forgive that mistake? Start doing it, acting, living as if it's gone. And God's power will come and be applied to your situation. This is huge. I hope and pray that we all hear it and begin to employ it. Singleness of vision, clarity, priority. Forget the past. I'm looking ahead, and I love where Paul says, I'm pressing on. This whole situation is not only athletic, but it's also, for those of you who are hunters, the same terminology can be used as a hunter. As the hunter is seeking its prey, it's not looking at other stuff. It's tracking, it's trailing, it's focused, it's going after the prey to receive it. That kind of terminology, that kind of language is being used. And that's how we should be for Jesus. That we are pursuing Him, we're tracking Him, we're focused on Him. That's what it's about. Don't let the other things distract you. Win the prize. Paul's imagining this runner pressing on to the goal, to win the prize. Alrighty? I should have a really neat picture up here coming up. Yeah, I like that one right there. I like that picture there. I like it a lot. Not just because it's my grandson, and he's a mighty awesome runner, very talented and gifted, and has a great ancestry. But look at that 7-year-old's determination.